All right, guys, you guys have been asking for this, and today's the day. We're going to do my full review, dislikes, likes, whatever, about the Harley Davidson Softail Slim. So buckle up. This could be a long one. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Tony here. Yeah, so today we're going to do my review of the Harley Davidson Softail Slim. I've done a few videos on this already, but I keep getting comments and questions, so I thought I would do a little bit more in depth. If you guys watch my other videos, you guys know that the aesthetic appeal was one of the big reasons I picked the Softail Slim. I know that's a little cheesy, but I really love the vintage styling of it, especially paired with that M8, because the M8 to me has the DNA of the old knucklehead. Take that with the vintage styling of the Softail Slim, and I think it's a beautiful motorcycle. So that was one of the things that really caught my eye when I was in there shopping for the Softail. That and standover height, seat height. The Slim is 25.5 inches, and that is the lowest seat height Harley has pretty much of all their motorcycles. The M8 has a very wide primary. So you really got to get those legs around the primary to get your feet solidly planted on the ground, and that standover height gave me that ability because I'm only about 5'6", 5'7" on a good day with a nice pair of shoes. But the standover height was a big reason I went with the Slim. As I've owned the bike, I've come to realize not only is the standover height low, but the center of gravity on the bike is very low, which gives it just very good stability at slow speeds. I mean, I can come to a stop sign, and if I'm not there but for a couple of seconds, I don't even have to put my feet on the ground. I can just balance the bike. There's no reason to put my feet down. That's how stable the bike is and how well balanced it is. Again, that was something I found after I've owned it for a while, is the low center of gravity really makes it a stable bike at low speeds, and it's easy to handle at low speeds. And while we're talking about handling, you guys know Harley redid the suspension and the frame, and it's a completely new motorcycle. They did an excellent job on the suspension on this motorcycle. It handles like a dream, and especially with the Slim, because we got a little narrower tire, a little smaller tires on it than say the Fat Boy or the Breakout or things like that. We're running a 130 90/16 on the front and a 150 80/16 on the rear. And because of the narrower tires, the bike is really easy to get into corners and to keep it into corners, and it makes it really flickable. If you're in the twisties, you're able to flick that bike left and right. It's very predictable in its handling. The more I ride it, the more I really appreciate how well this bike handles. With that being said, one of the dislikes about the suspension, at least on the Slim, is there's no external dampener for the rear monoshock. It is under the seat. When I bought the bike, I really didn't think anything about it. But as I started riding 2-up and things like that, every time you do that, you have to pull the seat off and manually adjust the preload with the wrench that they supply you with. And then when you get home and you're going out, by yourself, you got to take the seat off and manually readjust the preload again. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to do that. And I really didn't think about it. I would have really liked an external adjuster, kind of like what's on I believe the Heritage has it, and there's a few of them that have it. But unfortunately, the Slim didn't get it. But I wish it did. But if you ride by yourself all the time, it doesn't really matter. I don't even know where I was. That was a little bit of a tangent. But back to the handling. Harley also gave us more ground clearance, 4.7 inches left and right. I've yet to drag a footboard in the 2 years that I've owned it. Now, I'm sure some of you guys can go out there and drag one immediately if you want. But with my riding style, I have yet to have any trouble with dragging the footboard. When I test rode the older Softail Slim, I wasn't out of the Harley parking lot for 5 minutes, and I was dragging that one immediately. So enough about the handling. As you can tell, I'm pretty impressed with the way the bike handles. Actually, I love the way the bike handles. Handles really, really well. I don't think any of you all would be disappointed at the way that this bike handles. But Going to the M8. The M8 is a controversial situation. There's people that love them and there's people that hate them. For you all that don't know, the M8 is the Milwaukee 8. It is their new motor. It is 107 cubic inches. It's also offered in 114 cubic. I believe only 107 in the Slim, but that is just shy of 1,800 cc's. It is a monster of a motor. It produces 110 pounds of torque at 3,000 RPMs, and the damn thing pulls like a diesel truck. The torque on that thing is amazing. And the power delivery is smooth and predictable. I absolutely love the Slim, but I have had a problem. And if you guys watch my videos, you know it wasn't a problem with the engine. It was a problem with the fuel pump and the fuel pressure regulator, which is located in the gas tank. It seems like these fuel pressure regulators are either faulty or installed wrong, but as the gas lowers in the tank, the pressure builds up in the gas tank, and the way the vent tube is designed, it's to vent off the excess pressure in the tank as it builds up. Well, with this problem, it was getting rid of the air along with the gas. So there was a check valve, I guess, that's in there that was put in backwards, and it allowed the gas to drip out with the excess pressure. Went up to Harley. They got me all fixed up. It did take me twice, fixed it once, did it again. This time I actually got a whole new unit installed, and everything seems to be hunky-dory. But like I said, it wasn't a problem with the actual motor. It was a problem with the fuel pump and the fuel pressure regulator. But I have yet to have any trouble with it. It's been a fantastic engine. I love the power it gives, and I love the predictability of it. And aesthetically, I think it's probably one of the best looking engines Harley's done in a long time. So I did do the stage 1. I installed an S&S Stealth teardrop air cleaner and a Vance & Hines Big Shots. And I tuned it with the FP3. After I did that, I do get anywhere between 40 to 42 miles a gallon. I get about 200 miles out of the tank, and then it's time to stop and get some gas. I still have some in reserve, but that's kind of what you're looking at. As far as the weight of the bike, we're looking at 671 pounds. It's not the lightest bike in the world, but I will tell you, with that low center of gravity and the tires and the new suspension, it feels half that weight when you're actually riding it. It is an absolute joy to ride. Everybody that I've known that has ridden one or has ridden mine come back with a smile on their face, and they're completely surprised to how well the bike handles and performs. I can't say enough good things about it, guys. I'm sitting here rambling about this thing, and I really don't have that many negatives to say. Probably one of the biggest negative is I'm a modder. I like to mod stuff. I like to change stuff out. And when I originally bought the bike, I had all this stuff going through my head of the stuff that I wanted to change. And unfortunately, it doesn't need it. It really doesn't. The handlebars, the Hollywood handlebars are extremely comfortable. They fit me perfectly. The only thing I did change was the seat. Harley stock seats are a little janky, but I did change that. But all the other stuff, for me, it was just extremely comfortable right off the showroom floor. I really didn't have to change anything on the bike to make me comfortable on it. Of course, there's stuff you can change aesthetically if you want, to make it your own. Be all you can be. Make it your own. Do what you want to do. But as far as comfort and fit goes, I really didn't have to do anything to this motorcycle. When I had my iron, I went through 3 or 4 different bars. I went through a few different seats. I put a 1275 conversion on it. I put forward controls on it. There was a lot of stuff that I did to make that bike comfortable in the way that I wanted it to be. This bike, I kind of had the same mentality when I bought it. I wanted to do all this stuff, but as I rode it and became familiar with it, it didn't need it. It was just extremely comfortable the way that it was. And I didn't want to mess with it because I didn't want to jack it up. Because sometimes when you start moving stuff around and changing stuff, everything changes and it's no longer comfortable for you. And this bike is extremely comfortable. I've never had any problems going distance on it. Just a great bike, guys. I don't know what else I can say. I'm sitting here rambling about it. And I really don't have much bad to say. It's been a great bike. It's probably the best bike I've ever owned. And if you guys are looking at them or you're on the fence, go ride one. Go get a test ride at any Harley dealer, and I'm sure you'll love it. It's a great motorcycle. And I am just sitting here wasting your time at this point. I mean, I apologize, but I appreciate you guys tuning in and letting me waste that time of yours. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me that thumbs up. If you hadn't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Should be right over here. I sure would appreciate it. And like always, guys, ride safe. Be careful out there. Until next time, later.